Hey champions, this is Arian Tyson coming out of St. Louis, Missouri. Just wanted to talk to you briefly. I'm just leaving the barbershop and I'm telling you, it's amazing what a haircut will do for a man. And I just feel great, even though it's cold outside, even though it's starting to snow, but I'm feeling fantastic. Just had a great conversation with my barber. I really appreciate him a lot, and he actually gave me a great topic that I want to talk to you about today, as I'm about to go get me a bite to eat before I head to see this new Kevin Hart flick about last night. You know, as you could probably tell, I'm still enjoying my birthday weekend, right? And so we were sitting there, we were talking like we normally do, and I, was basically, just letting him know what was going on, since I had last been in the chair 2 weeks ago, and I just told him that, basically, just enjoying my birthday. I'm thankful that, God has allowed me to see 31 years, and, this is just going to be a great year. This is going to be a great year, 31, and, God is not through with me yet. And so, the enemy is mad right now. And so he said something that really hit home for me. And we were just talking about, enemies, and how we are supposed to make our enemies our footstools. And so I want to talk to you briefly and encourage you today to don't worry about your enemies. Let me preface my comments. Your enemies don't have power unless you give it to them. Your enemies should not have enough power over you to whether they make or break you when it comes to certain decisions that need to be made. And the reality is, there are too many people that go through life constantly wondering about insignificant people and insignificant things, to the point where they ultimately will rob themselves of their blessings because they care too much about what people think. Now, I say that as someone who has been guilty of that. I say that as someone who, in turn, speaks from personal experience. It is not a good place to be in. And you have to be careful about that, because your enemies should actually help you elevate to another level. And so I was talking to my barber, who is a pastor, and we were talking about how even with the children of Israel, how things were said negative about them, and but ultimately they were elevated to another level. They were elevated to great stature when it came to being the children of God, so to speak. And so when it comes to us going after our dreams, or going after what God has placed on our hearts to do and to accomplish, we have to understand that enemies are necessary, but enemies should not have power over us. Enemies should actually push us to greatness. They should actually help us elevate to the level or levels that we need to get to in order to be successful, in order to be a blessing to, not only, God's kingdom, but to our families, to our communities, and so forth. And so for those of you who understand that, we're supposed to pray for our enemies. You know, as crazy as this may sound, as blasphemous as it may sound, we're supposed to pray for our enemies. You know, and in that, our enemies should not have power over us when it comes to making decisions. You know, so I challenge you to make a decision that whatever the enemy has brought up on you, that you don't let it deter you any longer, that you don't let it stop you from being the beacon of light that God has designed you to be. And so for those of you who, you know, who have, you know, spent most of their time, if not all of your time, complaining about what has not happened, or about how you don't have this, or how you're not where you feel that you're supposed to be. You know, number one, be thankful that you're still alive. Be thankful that you still have an opportunity to get it right. But not only that, you need to start getting it right. You need to stop complaining, and this is the call to action. Make a decision that from this point forward, you are going to stop worrying about what other people think of you and start living the life and be the person that God has called you and chosen you to be. And if you want to understand, you want to learn more about how you can do that, the easiest way is to start getting around people that are walking in their purpose, that are doing what God has called them to do. And it doesn't mean necessarily going to church because the snakes in church. But what it does mean is getting around positive people, getting around people that have your best interest at heart and don't look at you as a commission or look at you as a dollar sign. Because when you start telling your story, you will be able to weed out those that really just look at you as a piece of meat versus looking at you as a person. But you got to be willing to start telling your story. So I challenge you to start telling your story. So what you need to do is, if you want to learn how your story has power and how it can not only bless others, then bless you, then connect with me on Facebook. Then shoot me an email. And, you know, let's talk, let's communicate. You know, let's lock arms with one another. And if you're ready to just lock arms because something has been spoken to your spirit, then just click the link below and join the team, because this team is on the verge of something great. And I'm just so thankful to be part of an awesome community of like-minded individuals, of champions in their own right. And, you know, we just help each other get better. You know, but it's time for you to make a decision. Get off the fence and get in the game. Click the link below, and we'll see you on the other side. Peace.